ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ते भूरिदा जनाः. My dear devotees and friends, today is the birthday of Swami Turiyanandaji. When Swami Vivekananda was lecturing in California, he told the audience there, "So I am now returning, but I will send you one who will guide you by his life. I have given you the ideas. I have given you how bold you should be to take this Vedantic life. But the other person who will come, then he will give you what I have given you by lectures and intellectual thoughts. He will show by his life." Then he went and then brought Turiyanandaji. When Turiyanandaji came, he took Turiyanandaji to a place there which was 160 acres of arid land. Absolutely there was no water, there was no vegetation, there was no any other comfort at all, no building. It was just a land of 160 acres, huge, at San Anton Valley. And that lady, Mini Book, one of his disciples, Swamiji's disciples, he had donated that one. "Swamiji, you can do some Vedanta work here." So Swamiji called Turiyananda and said, "So you go and establish Vedanta there. Establish the flag of Vedanta. Let Vedanta fly here in this world." Then Turiyanandaji first said, "What is this idea? How did you get this idea? To send me there?" Then he said, This is the will of God. You please go and do it." "How do I know it is the will of God? That it is not your own will?" He said, Mother has told me that you should go and start this." When Swamiji said, "Mother has told me," that cannot be disbelieved. Then Turiyanandaji agreed, and he went and started an ashrama there, which is called Shanti Ashrama. It is there even now. He was born on 3rd January 1863, 9 days older than Swami Vivekananda. Swamiji was born on 12th January, he was born on 3rd January. He was very unfortunate, or maybe as a Vedantist he was fortunate, that at 3 he lost his mother, a mad rabid jackal bit her, and then she passed away. And at 12 he lost his father. But he had a very, very considerate and sympathetic brother who was 20 years senior to him. He and his wife were almost like father and mother to him. He was very, very indebted to them, even in his later life also. He used to always to be merged in Vedantic thoughts. One day he went to Ganga, the Ganges river, as usual to take bath. Then a crocodile appeared in Ganga. And then all the other people who were there nearby swimming, they all just ran ashore and then said, "Hey, come away, come away." He also just came away. As soon as he came up from the water, he suddenly thought, "What daily I am thinking I am the Atman. Atman is immortal. What can this crocodile do to the Atman? It can do something to my body, but I am not the body. Let it go." This was the idea he got. Then he said, "As a Vedantin, I should not be afraid of anything. Let me go back." He went back into the river and started taking bath. People must have called him mad, but he proved later on he was mad after God, mad after Atman. So that is how he had that timidity and boldness. First he met Sri Ramakrishna was when he was just 13, 14 years old. It was too young at that time, but even at that time he says, he saw Sri Ramakrishna in one devotee's house, and as he alighted from the horse cart by which he had come, so Turiyananda noticed, so the spiritual light is emanating from his body. He had noticed that one. He was very much impressed. Then after another 3 years, maybe after 16, 17 years old, he met Sri Ramakrishna. Then after meeting Sri Ramakrishna gave him some preliminary advices. But after some time he stopped going to Sri Ramakrishna for quite some time. Then Sri Ramakrishna, when he met him after some time, he asked him, "Hello, why are you not coming here?" He said, "Sir, I am reading Vedantic books and then reasoning out. That will lead us to the idea that we are the Brahman, we are the Atman, we are not the body and the mind." So Sri Ramakrishna said, the essence of all this Indian philosophy, or any philosophy for that matter, is God alone is true and the creation is relatively false. It means very short-lived. God is eternal, the universe is ephemeral, changing. So, is this not the truth? Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. God alone is true, the world is false. Is it not this central idea? What more have you to reason? Hold on to this and try to do all your acts of thinking, talking, and meditating and acting. All should be in line with this idea that I am the Atman. So he also, Sri Ramakrishna said, however much you may reason, you cannot realize this truth without God's grace. God's grace is the ultimate factor in spiritual life, which will give you the highest knowledge that you are the Atman, you are the part and parcel of Paramatman. So one cannot realize this knowledge of Atman without help of God, without the grace of God. This idea went deep into this young man, and that is the central idea also. Even Shankaracharya also says, so without Ishvara anugrahena vina, without the grace of God, nobody can achieve the highest knowledge also. So one day this young man, Harinath, went to Sri Ramakrishna and asked, "Sir, cannot the lust go away once and for all?" Then Sri Ramakrishna first told him, why should that lust go? Lust is a power of mind to get attached to some things very strongly. Give a different direction to it. When the lust goes to the worldly things, you call it lust. The lust itself, when you lust for God, to higher spiritual things, you desire very strongly to have a darshan of Krishna, or Rama, or Kali, or Durga, it becomes bhakti. So give a higher turn to it. You don't have to destroy this lust, you cannot destroy it also. And then he said, you look at all women as embodiments of Divine Mother. So these were the two advices he gave, and later on Turiyanandaji shaped up as one of the best yogis who was beyond lust, beyond attraction of anything in this world. Sri Ramakrishna placed before him the ideal of a Vedantin. Ideal of a Vedantin in the classical Advaita, classical Indian philosophy is, you must realize that this world is unreal. It is like a dream, and you must be always thinking about God and merged in God. That was the old ideal. Sri Ramakrishna gave a higher ideal than that. He said there is a higher ideal than that. In the old ideal, you saw God in meditation only. When you open the eyes, when you see the world, you would say it is only dream. But Sri Ramakrishna said that is not true. What you see when you are in Samadhi as God, Supreme Soul or Brahman, same has become this world also. When you open the eyes and see, there also Brahman alone is there in another form. In unmanifested, in the spiritual form, inside the meditation, so he is Brahman. When you see this universe is another form of Brahman. So you must be able to see God when you are meditating. You must be able to see God in everything in this creation also, and serve the universe in that light. So this opened the eyes. This was the higher ideal, which later on Sri Ramakrishna and his followers, they used to say it is a Vijnana ideal. Jnana ideal is to consider the world as dream. Vijnana ideal is consider the world as another form of God. The unexpressed, the form of God is Brahman. The expressed form, manifest form of Brahman is this universe. So this attracted Turiyanandaji very much. He took this as his ideal. And then Sri Ramakrishna told him in a much stronger language. He said, those that say mukti, mukti, mukti for myself, they are very mean fellows. Just imagine, mukti is everybody wants. So Sri Ramakrishna puts it at a low level. That is a very low level. There is a higher level than that. That higher level is, I don't want mukti, let the whole universe go to mukti. I go at last. That was what Swamiji said. May I be born and again, and suffer billions of difficulties to help the people, and let all people go to the highest. I will not go until then. Like a Amitabha Buddha. So this idea was given to Turiyanandaji also, the Harinath also, by Sri Ramakrishna. One day he found Sri Ramakrishna eating many items from his plate. So there are so many items. Usually Sri Ramakrishna did not like more than 1 or 2 items. Even those 2 items, by the time he would put it into his mouth, he will go into ecstasy. It was difficult to keep his mind down and make him eat also. The great task was taken up by Holy Mother. She used to bring his mind down to his disciples and the temple and the worship of Kali and how the other people are progressing. So she would want talking about something lower than Samadhi. So his mind would come down and he would eat. Otherwise he would not eat more than 1 or 2 items. One day the Harinath found he is having number of items, and then he is touching one, and then he is touching another. So he was wondering, what is my master doing? Then Sri Ramakrishna understood his thought. He said, you see, I keep many items to keep my mind down. So suppose that my mind says, no, I don't want this. Then I'll show it this one. Do you like this? You take this. So 1 dozen items are there. Somehow or other to bring my mind down to eating. It does not want to eat at all. So there is no necessity for me eating. That is the idea. So he understands what a wonderful state of mind. He has no attraction for food at all, leave alone taste of it. He does not care for food at all, because he knows he is the infinite being which does not want food. Then Sri Ramakrishna once was telling him, you see, Harinath, I am suffering so much from this throat cancer. So I cannot eat, I cannot sleep, I am restless. So much of suffering is going on in me. Then silently this young man heard, and then in the end said, Sir, you are only acting, you are the infinite Brahman. You are enjoying it every moment, you are not suffering. Then he said, what do you say? I tell you that I am suffering and I have no sleep in the night and in the day. He says, Sir, I know full well that you are that infinite Brahman. You cannot have any joylessness at all. You are immersed always in infinite joy. Then Sri Ramakrishna expressed this when he said third time the same thing, this rascal has found out my real nature. So that was Turiyananda's deep insight into his guru and his other brother disciples. Then we all know that Sri Ramakrishna passed away, gave up this world in Mahasamadhi in 1886. Then in 1887, all the direct disciples from Swami Vivekananda, Brahmananda, etc., they all accepted the saffron robe and they took a new name. Harinath became Swami Turiyananda. Turiya is the 4th state. Turiya means Chaturtha. Chaturtha is called Turiya. Turiya Ananda. The Chaturtha state is state of Brahman, where the awakened state, the dream state, the deep sleep state, and that which is beyond these 3 is the Brahman state. So it's called the 4th state. So Turiya means Brahman. So if you put it in another word, he should be called as Brahmananda, but there already were Brahmananda. Therefore he took this name, Turiyananda. As a young man, he was very conscious that to do any spiritual practice, you must keep your body fit. There was an idea once upon a time, if people take to spirituality or religion, they don't have to care about their body. They can allow their body to go. But this new age, from Sri Ramakrishna downwards, We see every one of these great people have had a very strong physics. Sri Ramakrishna himself had a very strong physique due to his tremendous strain of his spiritual practices. He had become very soft. Similarly, Holy Mother also very strong. She herself says, I can knead so much of wheat by myself. About 8 kgs of wheat I can knead and then prepare chapatis. She used to swim and cut grass from the tanks and bring to the people. She was very strong. And of course, Vivekananda you need not say at all. And all the followers, the disciples who came next to Vivekananda, they were all very particular about keeping their body fit. Harinath was no exception to it. He used to do hard exercises. 100 push-ups he used to do, 500 sit-ups he used to do, and continuously. So his friends saw, you are straining yourself too much, you may die. Then he said, you are not doing, will you not die? He asked. That means, I know what I should do, so I am doing it. You don't have to worry about it. That was a strong will this young man had from the very beginning. He was just going for a bath in Uttarkashi, by the side of Ganga. Every day he used to go by a path which went through a small jungle. So he was going on that day to take bath. Then he found just by the side of the footpath a tiger is sitting and devouring something which it has hunted. And it has just killed that animal and it is eating with great gusto. And Turiyanandaji has to go by the side of it. So first he thought, shall I go? Then he said, what can it do? I am the Atman. Just walked by the side, went and took bath and came by the same way by the side of the tiger. Absolutely fearless. Similarly, he was meditating in another part of Himalayas, in Teri. So it was night. Suddenly there was a cry in the village. Oh, the tiger is coming, all close your doors, protect yourself. And Turiyanandaji was staying inside a cave. There was no door or anything. He did not come out to the cave or go into somebody's house. What can the tiger do to the Atman? He was sitting there and meditating. Tiger came, looked around and simply went away without any coming near him. That was his fearlessness. They selected to go to the west. Swami Vivekananda in the meanwhile, he had gone to the west. He wanted some assistance for him, to assist him there. So Swami said, let Turiyananda be sent. Then Turiyananda first refused to go. Because why should he go? He said, I am quite perfectly happy here. And I am preaching the Vedanta, I am living the Vedanta. Why should I go to your west? Then Swamiji implored him very much. Hari Bhai, do I alone struggle to deliver the message of Vedanta and arouse this West for our Vedantic culture? Will you not help me? And Swamiji shed tears. Then Hari Bhai agreed. That was the second trip to USA and Europe. First trip, of course, he had gone and come. For the second trip only, he wanted some assistance. Then, when Swamiji shed tears, Hari Maharaj could not control himself. He was a very soft soul, though he was supposed to be a very hard Vedantist, very strong in his conviction, very austere in his habit, but his heart was very soft, like a mother. So when Swamiji shed tears, he could not say no. He accompanied him on the second visit. He and then Nivedita and Swami Vivekananda, they left on the ship. So that is another story. They reached America via England with Swami Vivekananda and Nivedita. With Swami Vivekananda, they all stayed at Ridgely Manor in the Catskill Hills there. And for nearly 2 months, Swamiji and Abhedananda and Turiyananda, Nivedita, they all stayed there. And then one day suddenly Swamiji told him, Hari Bhai, I don't have any money to help you now. I was all the while helping you. So now I can't help you. You have to earn and support yourself. I am leaving for San Francisco. So he left for San Francisco, living in this new country where he had not many friends. But he was there for some time. He had delivered a few lectures under Shardananda there. Then he said, anyway, Swamiji has left me, I must make myself independent of him. Then Turiyanandaji moved to one lady devotee, Mrs. Wheeler. He went there. That was also near. It was New York and New Jersey, 40 miles from New York City. Then Wheeler was a student of Vedanta under Shardananda, and Turiyananda also started teaching her and then taking classes in New York also. He became very popular. During this period, there were one or two very ardent American disciples. One of them was Gurudas, who was named as Gurudas by Swamiji. He was a foreigner. He was from perhaps Switzerland. And then he was teaching him Vedanta and practiced Vedanta also. Then one day they were walking on the streets of New York. New York is called a garden of cement. You don't see a single grass there. Whole city is cement. So such a place, all high-rise buildings, everywhere cement. In that city of luxury, then these two are walking, two Vedantins, the Guru Vedantin and the would-be Guru, Atulananda. They are walking. And Turiyanandaji thinking about the Vedanta always. Then suddenly thought came to him. Later on he became Atulananda. He was called Gurudas by him. So this Gurudas is in bondage. He must get out of the bondage. How long will he be in bondage? In the central, in the side of the street of New York, Turiyanandaji started shouting at Gurudas, Gurudas, get out of this cage like a lion. Jagajjala Pinjaradiva Kesari, like a lion, just breaks the cage and runs out. You also get out of this, the Pinjara, the cage of this world. When will you do that? All the people were astonished. What is he saying? First of all, they cannot understand what he is telling. Second is, to talk such high Vedanta on the streets of New York, what would be the level of his mind? In those times, there were no fast vehicles and all that there, and no roads, etc. It is a jungle actually. So there, 40 miles away from the nearest railway station, he started this Shanti Ashrama. It was a very hard task. They have to dig the land, they have to lay foundation, they have to build up different sheds for different purposes, one lecture hall, one dwelling house, and one kitchen, and one parlor or something like that. All that to build this 15 or 20 students. And Turiyanandaji also would work. One day he was planing the wood by the instrument, the planing instrument. He cut his nose. Perhaps he slipped and it went to his nose, and he cut his nose. He did not tell. I must learn this carpentry better, he said. That's all. With this little knowledge, I could not do it. I must learn it better. Once, when Turiyanandaji and others were all meditating, one poisonous beetle stung the Turiyanandaji, and his hand got tremendously swollen, and pain was unbearable, but with great difficulty he was suppressing the pain, and then there was no help of any medicine. For 40 miles away from the railway station, and the city may be much far from that place. So then they were all wondering, all the disciples were in confusion, what to do. Suddenly they found one doctor walking in with full kit of medicines. How did this man get this information? He comes and says, you see, just then I heard, I was in the railway station 40 miles away. Somebody told, there are curious people here, some 15 or 20. They say that they are themselves God and this world is unreal, and they are practicing all that one. So would you like to go and see? He said, I must. So then I came here. It was not for that. Sri Ramakrishna has guided him. My son is suffering, go and do. Immediately he came and saw this poisonous bite, treated Swami Turiyanandaji. Everybody was very happy that Thakur has, Sri Ramakrishna has taken care of them. Then Turiyanandaji went to a disciple's house under very strange circumstances. This disciple, that was not in this camp when he was in San Francisco. So one of his disciples, lady, she told him, "Sir, I like Vedanta very much. So every day I have to quarrel with my husband. He does not like me to come to these classes. I ask him, you come, and I don't care for that. So you should not also go. So every day we have quarrels. What should I do?" He said, "You take me to your house. I'll see what I can do." She said, No, sir, I should never do that. If you go, he is a very harsh person. He may speak harsh to you and deal with you also in a very bad way. I don't want that to happen. Please don't come. No, you take me. Let me meet your husband. Afterwards you will see what will happen. She took Turiyanandaji with great hesitation. So they went, and the husband was standing there. And as soon as Turiyanandaji went, he extended his hand to shake hands with him. He shook hands. That moment itself he became a Vedanti. That moment, all his mind changed. So he said, "Sir, I did not know that you are such a great man who is teaching my wife. I shall never stop her from tomorrow." Then all the obstacles went away in their life. That is the power of a real Brahmajna or a realized person. By a touch, he can change the whole mind. So, for 18 months, Turiyanandaji was in the Shanti Ashrama with other disciples, and then he thought his health also was becoming very bad, so he wanted to come back to India. One of the great attractions in India was to be with Swami Vivekananda. So Vivekananda had already returned to India. So he, in 1902, beginning of perhaps a month or month and a half before, July 4th, when Swamiji passed away, Turiyanandaji thought, I must go. Then, when he was planning to go, Mother appeared before him, Divine Mother. He says, don't go, you stay here. If you stay here, this ashrama will improve and many more disciples will come. You will be doing a great work, don't go. Mother said, no, I must go and see Swami Vivekananda. Then Mother again repeated, no, you don't go, you do the work here. He said, no, I must go and see my brother. So Mother got angry, she went away, it disappeared. Then he came away and purchased the ticket to come to India. Then when he was departing from there, he told Atulananda, Gurudas, Mother is displeased with me. I have displeased her. I don't care, after all she is Mother. What will she do? I will do what I like. That was his love of Mother. Nobody is afraid of Mother. Mother may be angry. A real child does not care for the mother's anger at all. That was exactly he felt. Mother is very much angry with me. I have displeased her. That is a mistake I have done, for which perhaps I will suffer, but it is too late to undo it. He came to India and displeased Mother. What did she do? She took away Vivekananda before he reached Belur. As soon as he arrived in India, he got the news that Swamiji is no more. So he was so disappointed. He stayed for only a few days in Belur, went away to Vrindavan, went to Puri. One day he was just trying to climb the stairs to the great Puri temple, Jagannath temple. As he is climbing, Sri Ramakrishna is coming in front, getting down from the stairs. They are face to face. Suddenly he forgot that Sri Ramakrishna is no more in the corporeal body. But he went and fell at the feet of Sri Ramakrishna. And he rose and then saw Sri Ramakrishna disappear. He says, I clearly saw that Sri Ramakrishna himself is being worshipped in this Puri temple as Jagannath. So Sri Ramakrishna is the Jagannath. That great revelation came to him through experience. Then, when he was in Almora, for a number of years he was there. So he had his own ailments. One of them was swelling in his legs. He could not walk easily. In that state, Swami Premananda came to Varanasi, and then he thought that if Turiyananda also comes, Brahmananji was also there, so we will have good meeting after many years. So he sent message to Turiyanandaji. So you please come to Varanasi, so we will have a good time with Swami Brahmanandaji. Then with this ailing feet and with other ailments, he forthright, he started from there and straight away arrived with the very bad conveyances at that time, taking all the trouble to change trains. Then when he came, Premanandaji was surprised. You see, the other day I sent the message, how could you come so quickly? He said, why? You have ordered me to come. You are the manager in Belur, but how can I disobey you? That's why, with all the inconveniences, I came and reached this place. Turiyanandaji was a tremendously disciplined mind and disciplined life. He used to advise others also. This discipline is very much necessary. If you follow the discipline, this will keep us as a united lot, and with discipline alone, we can achieve great things. So when Swami Vivekananda established the Ramakrishna Matan mission, so discipline was the first thing Swamiji insisted. If anybody is indisciplined, turn him out. There must be like the army people. Discipline means discipline. Even if the captain says wrong, you must obey. Afterwards come and say, sir, you are wrong. First obey, then only come. That was Swamiji's instruction. Turiyanandaji accepted it. And then Swami Turiyanandaji was having no sleep at all. He was very sensitive to the sound. If even the clicking of a clock could not allow him to sleep. So some nervous problem was there. So at that state, he had to be given medicine throughout the night, every 2 hours or every 3 hours. So one had to be alert. So 2 to 3 times at the right time, one has to go and give him medicine. But how will he get up every second hour or third hour without an alarm clock? Or at least a clock with clicking, some sound must be there to get him up. The alarm clock is the only way. So alarm if you keep, he will not sleep at all. All alarm clocks, they click, 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 every second will be sound. So Turiyanandaji cannot sleep. And if the alarm clock is not there, the sevak cannot go to serve it. So Swami Yatishanandaji was in charge of serving him. But he would go at the right time. There was no alarm clock at all with him. He would go at the right time and give medicine. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, weeks after weeks he is doing. One day Turiyananda Swami called him and then said, he told Suresh, Yatishanandaji was called Suresh, Suresh, how do you get up at the right time every 2 hours in the night without alarm and come and give me medicine? Then Suresh with all humility said, sir, I suggest to my mind, after 2 hours you get up, you have to go and give medicine, and mind automatically makes me awake. Then I come with the medicine to you, that is how I am serving you. And he thought that he has achieved something by having this power to suggest to the mind, and the mind listens to his suggestion. But Turiyanandaji's reply was, don't you feel egotistic about it? Don't you feel that I have achieved something great? Immediately Swami Yatishanandaji says, I felt I had a subtle ego that I have achieved control over my mind. And he destroyed that by that question. Don't you feel egoistic about it? Ego is very bad, that everybody knows. He gave up that subtle ego also. And later on he never got that ego. That was, once he was in Puri, so he had an assistant. This assistant used to treat his eyes, he had some eye sore. So he had to put some eye drops. This assistant, mistaking the nitric acid for that eye drop, he took out nitric acid and put the drops of nitric acid into his eyes. The whole eye started burning, both the eyes. Then Turiyanandaji realized, what is this? My eyes are getting burned. And he immediately knew that some mistake has happened because the orgeral or whatever it was there. So that had to be put. Instead of that, they put nitric acid. They were side by side, 2 bottles. So mother, he did not tell anything to the sevak. He only cried to mother, Mother, do you want to take my eyes also away? But mother was gracious. His eyes were saved. And he regained his full sight. One day he felt was highly feverish, high temperature, almost in a delirium. He found that his life is leaving his body. He says, I saw the pranas leaving my body, the life leaving the body. As a witness I am seeing, the body is lying there and the pranas are going higher and higher. At that time I thought, all right, let me leave this world and go. Suddenly Swami Vivekananda appears on the way. And then he stops the pranas, go back to the pranas are driven back into his body. He comes and says, Haribhai, what is it you are doing? You have to do lot of things. You cannot leave this world like this. So Swami came and then brought my life back. Now I am here. Such wonderful experiences. The whole spiritual world was open to them. And in the world they lived to give us the greatest lesson that God is there and we are all divine, being parts of God. These great people, the proof of God and the scriptures that talk to us about God, the proof lies in the existence of such self-realized seers like Turiyananda Swami. They have established dharma or the spiritual life in this world by becoming practical examples of self-realization. If you look at the life of these great people, you cannot doubt that there is God, that there is the divine soul of man, and we can realize God, we can realize our own souls. They are the practical examples before us, role models, so to say. Their reply to atheism and agnosticism is, we have seen, we can guide you to God and to your soul. How can you deny the religion when people say we realize the truths of religion? These great people are the people who are the foundations of the Sanatana Dharma, our eternal religion. When we read the life of them, you cannot doubt soul, you cannot doubt God, you cannot doubt the power that is behind every soul. All of us are connected to that infinite soul, and this universe also is connected to the infinite soul. Whole universe is filled with God. That is what the experience of the rishis. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Everything is divine here. So these great ideas were made concrete and intelligible to us through the lives of such great people. So that is how we bow down to them. So today we shall also bow down to Swami Turiyanandaji, Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother Swamiji, and pray to them that they may lead us also into the higher realms of divinity and make our life successful and happy here and spiritually enlightened in our inner life. May we progress in our inner life and the outer life also by their grace. Then the last 3.5 years of his life he spent in Kashi, in our Varanasi ashram, 1919 to 1922. Then he used to tell all the inmates there, you do Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna Seva through all your work, treating the patients or doing the cleaning work or worshipping in the temple. Everything is Sri Ramakrishna Seva. Think like that and in 3 days you will realize God, if you strictly follow Swamiji's discipline. And he referred to himself and said, I did not follow Swamiji's idea. He wanted me to continue in this San Antone Valley. I did not obey. That is why I am suffering. He had a number of suffering, number of operations, gangrene operation. But he did not bother at all. 1 week before his passing away in Samadhi, he told several people were there who were serving him. One of the later well-known monks who served him was Swami Yatishwaranandaji. So Swami Yatishwaranandaji served him in Varanasi. Then he called all of them and then said, another 1 week more I will be here. So you enjoy my company and whatever you want, you learn from me. And just after the previous day, penultimate day of his Mahasamadhi, Swami Akhandananda went to him to see him. Then he said, Akhandananda, tomorrow is my last day. See how he knows, and he is going, and he is so happy about it. And 21st July 1922, he passed away in a glorious way. He was fully conscious. And then he was telling many things from the Vedas. So usually in the Vedas, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya is there. So usually we talk as the essence of the Vedanta. So suddenly he remembered this statement. He made a correction to it. He said, Brahma Satyam Jagat Satyam Satya Satyam Pratishtitam. Satya Satyam Pratishtitam is a Vedic statement. The Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, he put it. Brahma Satyam Jagat Satyam. God is true. World also is true. World is not untrue. That is Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna said, you are seeing God in Samadhi, it is one way of God, seeing. And when you see the world, that is a manifestation of God in another way. That is also Satya, that is also God. So, Brahma Satyam, Jagat Satyam, Satya Satyam Pratishtitam. Both are the same. One is in the inner world, one is in the outer world. And the last word she addressed was, Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. With open eyes, he passed away. Niranjanam Nityamananta Rupam Bhaktanukampadrita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Paramesha Medyam Tam Ramakrishnam Chirasa Namama.